Okay. So, thank you all for watching this video. This video is going to be Neutral Game Part 3. The third part of the neutral game in KOF13 that I want to cover is the empty jump low and the defensive throw option select, how those two strategies interact, and how they're a part of the neutral game. Okay? So, no doubt, you know, say you've watched my spacing video, say you know how to anti-air people, say you know that you can standing A at the right ranges or uppercut at the right ranges or occupy that space otherwise. Even if you know all that, what's going to happen eventually is somebody's going to be able to get a jump in either to hit or you're going to block it, okay? It's bound to happen. You can't expect to not block any jump-ins, although that is like a theoretical maximum you should aspire to, you know? But you're probably going to block a few jump-ins, and if you do block a jump-in, okay, if that happens, if you block a jump-in, then almost always the person who jumped in on you is going to have frame advantage, and they can attempt a mix-up between a low and a throw, or possibly they're going to try to reset the pressure. If you'd like more information on mix-ups, I have a video on that. That's not what I'm covering. My point is that people are going to be jumping at you. You should be attempting to control that space, but once in a blue moon, someone is going to attempt to empty jump at you and possibly get a throw, okay? Here's the thing about an empty jump, okay? If someone empty jumps at you, number one, that means that if you would have hit anything, you would have anti-aired them. That's the first thing to remember. But number two, the thing is, throws in KOF13 are instant, okay? One frame, I can't say beyond a shadow of a doubt that they have one frame startup, but it seems like the consensus that they probably have one frame startup. Here's the thing, if you wait for the jump in, okay, and just before they get to you, you start to stand block, and right when they land, you hold back and input a throw, that is a pretty safe way to avoid a jump in case they press a button, and at the same time, if they land and go for a throw, you'll be able to tech that throw. This is the defensive throw option select. Now this is an option select because it will tech the throw if they empty jump, okay? And if they don't go for a throw, you'll probably get a throw and beat whatever they attempt. But if they don't empty jump, then you'll just block and you'll be pressing those buttons that would be the throw tech in block stun, so nothing bad happens. Okay? As you can see, if I attempt to tech a throw while I'm in the block stun here, if I do it with the same timing as if Robert would empty jump, nothing bad happens because I'm in the block stun. Okay? So you can use that to, if they empty jump, tech a throw, and if they just jump in on you, you safely block it and you can deal with the mix-up after that. Okay? That is the defensive throw option select because two possibilities happen with your one series of inputs. Now what I want to stress is that this is pretty safe. It's pretty safe. You know, there's not a lot of ways they can blow this up, but there are two specific ways that they can blow this up. The first way is to simply land to make it look like they're going for an empty jump throw of some kind, but when they land, the moment they do something that is both hit and throw invincible, okay? If they do something that's throw invincible the moment that they land, like say Robert's uppercut, then what's going to end up happening, instead of you going for throw, because Robert is throw invincible, or whoever character, look at that, look at that. Robert landed close range to me, and I held back and I hit hard punch. And Robert is in the startup of his uppercut. Because his uppercut is throw invincible on startup, my throw doesn't come out, and I get close C instead, or close D, or whatever I was attempting to tech the throw with. That will come out because he's throw invincible. But because he's also hit invincible, he will go right through it. So if the Robert does an empty jump uppercut, you would have to choose to hit nothing when he lands. But if you attempt to tech a throw there, he's just going to go right through it. The way that you beat somebody that overuses the defensive throw option select is you land with something that is both hit and throw invincible. Some characters have something meterless, others don't. But if you're going to spend a bar on something like that, You know, why not spend it on something that's going to be really, really, really good? There it is. There's the startup of my close C because I tried to tech a throw, and because I'm stupid, and then I get hit with the X Ranbu. So that's the first way to beat that option select clean. Land with something that is both throw and hit invincible. If you land with something that's only hit invincible, then they might get the throw off instead of getting their normal to come out, so you need to be careful about that. Now, the alternate way of actually making this work is by making it look as though you're going to be in throw range. This is very difficult to do, okay? But here's the deal. When this Robert does that hyper hop right there at that range, notice I recorded the dummy to take a step back. Okay? I told the dummy to take a step back because here's the thing. If I attempt a throw, a defensive throw option select there, at that spot, he's too far. I don't get a throw. Robert is too far to throw, and Rio is too far to get a throw tech. So what happens is, I am hitting a normal. If you attempt a throw tech, but you're not in block stun and there's no throw, then you just get your normal. So you accidentally open yourself up by doing that. I try to input the throw option select, but the throw is not possible. I get my normal, and I get opened up because of the spacing. Okay? Now, I could try to, you know, move forward, you know, but think about that. You're trying to walk forward into somebody that's jumping, you know. Ultimately, in order to use either method, you need a little bit of prediction. You need almost perfect spacing for this method, but you also need raw prediction on the other method. So both ways of blowing up this mostly safe strategy requires a nice good read, or requires that your opponent lets you jump from a very specific spot. And also, remember, doesn't anti-air you. If I anti-air him, then obviously this isn't going to work. But if you can get that to work, then you can get a nice reward off of that. Ah! Oh, I tried to tech a throw that wasn't there. Tried to tech a throw that wasn't there. Got blown up. So spacing, either use this method and hop at the right spot. And keep in mind, this doesn't have to be a hop. This could be a full jump, okay? This could be a full jump. And that would work just fine. In fact, the spot where the round starts is a pretty good spot for this. Oh, thought there was a throw. Nope, too far. See? Wrong distance. Rio was out of throw range. You either use this method, where you jump in just outside of throw range, and when they attempt it, you can blow them up, or you just land with something throw invincible and hit invincible to go through both parts of the option select. Those are the two ways to counter the tactic, okay? Now, I need to talk about how empty jump low plays into all of this, okay? And here's a basic mix-up. This is a basic mix-up that every character in the game can do. Timed it wrong. Okay. It's not hard to do. Well, strike that. It's going to take you some practice. It's not necessarily, shall we say, intuitive to do. But here's the idea. In King of Fighters 13, if a low and a normal throw are going to trigger on the same frame, or whatever, what's going to happen is the low is going to win, okay? Or more specifically, if you have a low right on top of somebody as they attempt to do a throw tech, then they have to stand to do that throw tech, so you're going to hit them low. So here's the idea. If you get a knockdown, you want to time a jump where you land, okay? You land just a hair before they wake up. And then, if they attempt to use the defensive throw option select right here, they think they have time to throw, but they don't because you landed a little early. See, throws, you know, if they had one frame of startup, they should be beating this clean, right? But here's the idea. I'm inputting back in hard punch, but ultimately, the Robert is already on the ground, and I'm trying to tech a throw, but I'm deceived by the visuals, okay? Rio is not actually up from the knockdown the moment Robert lands. Okay? I hit the back hard punch there, but look at that. His crouching hard kick is already active. And so that's able to catch me there, okay? If you time a jump just a little early so it looks like they can go for the defensive throw option select, but you go low, you can blow them up. And that is a simple mix-up that everyone can do. But I want to stress something. It doesn't work in the neutral game. If you attempt this in the neutral game, here's what's going to happen. Assuming they input the option select properly, they're going to throw you. Oh, I did it wrong. If you land, you know, and you're not at that perfect spot where they're out of their throw range, if you do this too close, then it's not going to work in the neutral game. This is only going to work on knockdown because, remember, you have to have your crouching light kick already out as they're attempting the throw tech. But if I do this... Oop, wrong spot. Oh, God. There we go. Yeah, there it is. Perfect. If I input the throw option select properly and you empty jump at me, if you're in my throw range, then a low is too slow. A low is going to be slower than my normal throw, and I'm going to win there. Now keep in mind, you could tech this normal throw, okay? Okay. Even if you fail in the empty jump low, you can still tech that throw. This is a KOF13 thing. I cover throws more in depth in one of my other videos, but remember, you can almost always tech any normal throw. Even if you're in recovery of an uppercut, or if you're in the middle of a normal, you can still tech normal throws, okay? But this is only going to work if they're scared to press buttons, or if you space it, you know, so that they don't get the throw, or, of course, on the knockdown. On the knockdown is the more general effective form of the mix-up. But in the neutral game, it's only going to work if they're too scared to use the defensive throw option select. So ultimately, when you think about the empty jump low and the defensive throw option select, that's what happens if you jump and nothing happens, okay? If you jump at somebody, but nothing happens, and there's no block stun or anything, what's going to happen is probably when you land, there's going to be a little mash fight, okay? And right here, if Rio hits, say, crouching C, and Robert attempted to tech a throw, Rio would win. First of all, because Rio's crouching C is really fast compared to most normals. It starts up in, I think, 3 frames. And number 2, Robert is out of throw range, so anything that he attempts is going to be too slow, and Rio is going to win. But if Rio was in throw range, Robert would be able to deal with that with a throw, which Rio now has to deal with by making a read. Okay? Which is why, when you're jumping at people, you usually want that block stun, because landing without getting your block stun means that your opponent has way more options than if you had just put them in block stun and went for a traditional mix-up. You usually want the block stun from your jump-ins because you don't want to give your opponent too many outs. And if you empty jump, unless I'm making a hard read with, like, say, EX Ranbu or like a light uppercut or something, unless I'm making that hard read, then my opponent has way more options than if I would have just put them in block stun and did a traditional mix-up, and that would have worked a lot better and been a bunch safer. So, using that knowledge and the knowledge from the previous video on spacing and the knowledge from the video before that on projectiles, that gives you almost everything you need to know in order to take advantage of every situation in the neutral. That's really, it's a very free-form sort of game, a game where your character doesn't decide, your playstyle decides, a game where ultimately it's your practice and your experience that decides if you'll be able to anti-air karate. Has nothing to do with the fact that karate's Hop CD is really good. It really doesn't. It comes down to where you're standing and what you decide to do when he does it. That's what it comes down to, and every character can always cleanly beat things, which is part of, you know, why I like it so much. But anyway, that was the 3rd video. Not too difficult, hopefully. Anyways, I will be back with the 4th neutral game video at a later date. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and please play KOF13. It's a good game.